Confident in his ability to win, Joseph Harmon launched campaign for the presidency of the PNCR. Berbice man caught with 4 kilograms of cannabis hidden in car trunk. In the region, HAITI gang leader threatens to kill American missionary hostages. And internationally, India celebrates 1 billion COVID vaccine doses with song film. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Berbice. Thank you for joining us. On Thursday night, opposition leader Joseph Harmon launched his campaign for the presidency of the People's National Congress Reform, the largest party in the opposition APNU-AFC coalition.
And I honor and I accept that challenge. And so tonight, I, Joseph Frederick Harmon, do accept the challenge of being the leader of the People's National Congress Reform. And I pledge to work with every member of our party in ensuring that our party moves from greatness to greatness to greatness.
Harmon said all candidates vying for the leadership position of the party should commit to working together regardless of the outcome.
I want to commit as a candidate for these elections. And I expect that all of the other comrades who vie for that position, that they commit at the end of this process to working together in unity for our party. Win, lose, or draw, the bigger picture is our party. Win, lose, or draw, and that is what I am saying tonight. I am committing to that. I am prepared to sign on the dotted line. I am committed to working with whoever comes out the winner at the end of this process.
Joseph Harmon received support from several APNU leading party members.
I have no reservation in endorsing Mr. Harmon this evening, and I would like to encourage all comrades to join with us here this evening as we continue to build a stronger PNC. Thank you.
I, Annette Ferguson, am endorsing you as the 5th leader of the People's National Congress Reform.
I support my friend and brother, Joseph Harmon.
The opposition leader said he is positive that given the leadership position, the APNU-AFC will be able to defeat the PPPC.
I want to send a very clear message to the PPP that your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. That the PNC regroup, re-energize, and strong under powerful, positive leadership, that we are going to get rid of you. We are going to get rid of you.
A Berbice man was apprehended with 4 kilograms of cannabis hidden in his car trunk at a police roadblock at the Berbice Harbor Bridge. Esther Sobers has more.
A 43-year-old man is now in police custody after he was caught earlier this morning at the Berbice River Bridge public road with cannabis sativa. According to reports, a police roadblock exercise was in effect at the Berbice River Bridge public road sometime around 4:15 a.m. A dark blue 212 motor car, HB6999, heading towards the roadblock made a sudden turn and began driving at a fast rate of speed in the opposite direction. The police gave chase and were able to intercept the motor car some distance away from the roadblock. The driver was contacted and told of the observations. A search of his person and motor vehicle was requested and done. In the spare wheel department in the trunk of the motor car, police discovered a gray haversack which contained a bulky parcel wrapped with transparent plastic and within a black plastic bag. The same was further opened in the suspect's presence and contained several leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis. The suspect was told of the offense, cautioned, and arrested, to which he replied, "Is me weed and I went out and sold it over the river, but I turned back when I saw the block." The suspect, the car, and the suspected narcotics were all taken to the Central Police Station. The suspected drugs were weighed in the presence of the suspect and amounted to 41 kilograms. The car was lodged and the suspect is in custody, assisting with investigations. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. 53-year-old Bazio Bola, called Ovo, of number 47 village Corentyne, Berbice, was charged and remanded to prison on Thursday for causing actual bodily harm and threatening his 40-year-old wife, Savitri Bola. Bazio Bola was caught on surveillance camera beating the woman with a cutlass. She received cuts and bruises to her body. Bazio appeared at the number 51 Magistrates Court before Magistrate Alec Moore and pleaded not guilty to the charges. He was remanded to prison until November 3, 2021. Bazio was arrested on October 16, 2021. Stick around after the break. Brazilian gold miner stabbed to death during argument, and Guyana will accept vaccinated foreigners with unapproved COVID-19 vaccine, says the Ministry of Health.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day is every Wednesday, and you can get 7% off everything on sale except alcoholic drinks. And to make more of our customers eligible, we have dropped the age requirement from 60 to 55, so you can benefit from the big discounts on everything in your trolley. Yes, Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day gives you 7% off every Wednesday, if you're 55 and older, of course. Just walk with your ID card as proof of your age, and then shop, shop, shop at Survival Supermarket.
Welcome back. Minister of Health Dr. Corentyne said in a COVID-19 update that Guyana is accepting persons vaccinated with shots not yet approved by the international health bodies. The minister said persons traveling to Guyana and immunized with vaccines other than the World Health Organization's approved Sinovac, Sinopharm, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca vaccines are allowed to enter.
In addition to WHO-approved vaccine, we are, of course, accepting persons who have Sputnik. There are persons who have been traveling in from Cuba. They have the sombrero vaccine, and we have been accepting those as well. And there are some other vaccines that would be coming on stream. So if persons have them and they want to travel, they just need to seek guidance and we'll be able to clear that. So for example, Novax is one of those vaccines that have undergone clinical trial, but they haven't received WHO approval as yet.
The World Health Organization is yet to approve several vaccines, including Russian-made Sputnik V. However, the Sputnik V vaccine has been approved in over 70 countries worldwide. On Wednesday, the World Health Organization said it is still assessing the vaccine for emergency use. Dr. Corentyne noted that the vaccines do not prevent infections, but rather prevent hospitalization and death. As such, negative PCR test is still required before entering the country.
If we know that vaccinated persons can still be infected and potentially carry the virus, it would mean that we still have to do testing. So that is the policy, that is what we have been doing, and that's what a lot of countries around the world have been doing. So you get your PCR tests. You also produce your vaccination records. In the case of Guyana, once you at least have your first dose of the vaccine.
However, children under 2 years do not require a negative PCR test to travel to Guyana. The minister said different jurisdictions have different requirements.
If you are going out, different jurisdiction require different types of tests. So generally, most countries would accept the PCR. In the case of the United States, they accept both PCR or an antigen test, but all other countries generally would ask for PCR testing.
The minister further stated that vaccination requirements for domestic travel reinforces the government's policy that once a person is in a public space, they need to produce their vaccination card, and airports are considered a public space. To date, there are 69 cases reported of imported COVID-19 cases. In this report, Nirmala Ramsawak informs us that authorities in Berbice are on the hunt for a gold miner who is wanted for the murder of a Brazilian gold miner. Here's more.
Police are investigating the death of a Brazilian gold miner who was allegedly stabbed to death by his colleague during an argument yesterday at Central Berbice in the Northwest District. Inquiries revealed that the deceased, called Nigong, and a suspect were involved in gold mining at the Venezuela-Guyana borders and were known to each other. The deceased and the suspect disagree with an amount of raw gold, which led to both individuals making regular threats against each other. These threats were never reported to the authorities. However, around 8:30 p.m. on Thursday, the now-dead man and the suspect were consuming alcohol at Central Berbice in the Northwest District in the vicinity of Johnny Phillips Hotel. They both ended up in a heated argument. The suspect took out a knife from his waist and dealt the deceased several stabs to his chest and rib area. The suspect then allegedly dropped the knife and made good his escape on foot. The victim was rushed to the Berbice Health Center but was pronounced dead on arrival. His body is currently at the Berbice Health Center awaiting transfer to Port Kaituma Mortuary for a post-mortem examination. Additionally, a report was made to the Berbice police station and the alleged murder weapon was recovered on the scene. Police are presently on the hunt for the suspect. Investigations are ongoing. Reporting for Headline News Update, Nirmala Ramsawak.
Thanks, Nirmala. Police are looking into the circumstances surrounding the death of a Corentyne fisherman whose lifeless corpse was discovered adrift. Dale Jarvis has more details.
The lifeless body of a fisherman was found floating next to his fishing scene at number 63 Beach, Corentyne, Berbice on Thursday. According to police reports, 47-year-old Vanrik Prasad of number 64 Village left his house early on Thursday to retrieve his seine and never returned home. His 17-year-old son then went in search of him and discovered his body. Police believe that the man may have drunk sometime between 9:30 a.m. and noon on Thursday. The fisherman's body was taken to the Skeldon Public Hospital where he was officially pronounced dead. The body was examined and however no marks of violence were evident. The body is presently at the mortuary awaiting a post-mortem examination. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Don't go away after the break. Haiti gang leaders threatening to kill American missionary hostages, and lockdown to end in New Zealand when 90% fully vaccinated. But before that, here is the bridge retraction schedule.
Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day is every Wednesday, and you can get 7% off everything on sale except alcoholic drinks. And to make more of our customers eligible, we have dropped the age requirement from 60 to 55, so you can benefit from the big discounts on everything in your trolley. Yes, Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day gives you 7% off every Wednesday, if you're 55 and older, of course. Just walk with your ID card as proof of your age, and then shop, shop, shop at Survival Supermarket. When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Haiti's national police chief has resigned after protests against deteriorating security and gang violence. Workers have been on a general strike since Monday following the abduction of a group of Christian missionaries. The gang leader has threatened to kill them if a ransom is not paid. Al Jazeera's Manuel Rapallo reports.
Another day of protest in Port-au-Prince. Protesters set up roadblocks across the city, burning tires and other debris to prevent the free flow of traffic. While protests in recent days have remained peaceful, tensions are clearly on the rise. Demonstrators called for the resignation of the country's national police chief, Léon Charles. Many claim Haiti's security forces have allowed violent crime and kidnappings to reach unprecedented levels.
There are a lot of tourists that come to Haiti to help people. They come to evangelize, and under the direction of Léon Charles, they get kidnapped because Léon Charles doesn't have the capacity and leadership to direct the police department. Léon Charles has to resign.
With the current insecurity, Americans and Canadians are not spared from the kidnappers. It doesn't matter which country you come from, you cannot live a normal life in Haiti.
By Thursday afternoon, Haiti's national police chief resigned from his post, a sign perhaps of the fast-changing strategies by Haitian authorities working in close collaboration with U.S. federal agents as they seek to secure the release of the 17 hostages. Tensions are high in the country following the release of a social media video posted by 400 Morozo, the criminal gang responsible for the abduction of 16 American citizens and 1 Canadian. In the video, the gang's leader vowed retaliation after authorities shot and killed at least 1 member of the gang on Wednesday.
Protests and roadblocks have become a daily occurrence here in Port-au-Prince, but the anger from demonstrators has grown beyond the worsening security situation. They're calling for accountability over widespread fuel shortages, higher prices on communication services, and a lack of leadership from government officials.
The case of the 17 hostages has brought international attention to what some are calling a kidnapping crisis. More than 100 kidnappings have taken place so far this month, and more than 700 since the start of the year. And a recent report by UNICEF says there were significantly more abductions of women and children in the first 8 months of 2021 than in all of last year. Manuel Rapallo, Al Jazeera, Port-au-Prince.
Internationally, by spreading its health workers across some of the remotest parts of the country, India has now given at least 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine to 3/4 of its 1.38 billion population. India has also started exporting vaccines again as production is ramped up. But in parts of Europe, the reluctance to get inoculated is prompting a surge in infections. Al Jazeera's Bernard Smith reports.
By fanning its health workers across some of the remotest parts of the country, India has now given at least 1 dose of COVID-19 vaccine to 3/4 of its 1.38 billion population. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited a New Delhi hospital to celebrate the 1,000th dose. But only 31% have had 2 doses.
There is a certain degree of apathy, as well as the feeling that the worst has passed and there is no further risk. So many people are not really going in for the 2nd dose straight away.
India is sitting on vaccine stock of 100 million doses and has recently started exporting again. It's Africa where they're needed. Less than 5% of the continent's population has been vaccinated. The World Health Organization says that could mean the pandemic goes on for a year longer than it needs to.
Developing countries should not have to wait for the charity of rich nations, because that charity, as we've seen in the last year and a half, is not happening. We cannot rely on their largesse. We have to have manufacturing, and to do that we have to share the recipes that were publicly funded in the first place.
In some Eastern European countries, the challenge is persuading enough people to get jabbed. Latvia is the first European nation to go back into lockdown. Only 54% of Latvian adults are vaccinated. The EU average is 74%. Bulgaria and Romania are also struggling to cope with a surge in infections. While in Russia, coronavirus-related deaths have hit another daily record of more than 1,000. The government is imposing a week-long workplace shutdown from the start of November.
It's very clear that in countries that have lower vaccine uptake, that's where we're seeing the serious pandemic effects at the moment in terms of deaths and people ending up in hospital. So at the general population level, I believe that Russia sits around 30% with a complete immunization series. That's similar to what we're seeing in other countries like Romania, Bulgaria.
The UK has more cases than France, Germany, Italy and Spain combined. And Poland is also facing a significant rise in infections, now at 5,000 a day, which may require drastic action just as the continent heads towards winter. Bernard Smith, Al Jazeera.
And finally, New Zealand's Prime Minister says strict COVID-19 lockdown measures will be lifted once 90% of the population is fully vaccinated. So far, about 70% of eligible people have had 2 jabs. Al Jazeera's Wayne Hay reports.
Auckland is the economic centre of New Zealand, but for more than 2 months it's been largely at a standstill, following New Zealand's first outbreak of the Delta variant of COVID-19. Keeping it locked down much longer is unsustainable, and the government has responded to growing calls for a plan to get back to normal.
We cannot ask vaccinated people to stay home forever, so now we need a new playbook to reflect a population protected from COVID.
The Prime Minister announced a traffic light system will be introduced with different alert levels to manage outbreaks of the virus, using fewer restrictions and no more nationwide lockdowns. It signals an end to the elimination strategy and an acknowledgement that New Zealanders will need to learn to live with the virus, provided the vaccination rate reaches 90%. The arrival of the Delta variant in New Zealand changed everything and has proved impossible to eliminate. But it did force the government and the public to speed up vaccinations. 86% have now had at least 1 dose, but getting to that key figure of 90% may take some time. The government says it will review the situation at the end of November, which may be too far away for those wanting a quicker end to COVID lockdowns. Australia's second largest city has reopened, despite new infections continuing to rise. Melbourne has spent a cumulative 262 days locked down since the start of the pandemic, more than any other in the world.
Like being sort of separated from what I do for so long, it's super nice to be back today. And it's a sunny day, so it's like perfect.
Its 6th and probably last lockdown was lifted as the vaccination rate passed 70%. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Tauranga, New Zealand.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. Of this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.